Language Foundations Vocabulary Flashcards, helping you achieve understanding.
Your usual mood. He has a happy disposition. An attitude of mind, especially one that favors one alternative over others. The act or means of getting rid of something. A natural or acquired habit or characteristic tendency in a person or thing. A swelling with a disposition to rupture. Your usual mood. An adjustment of the intervals, as in tuning a keyboard instrument, so that the scale can be used to play in different keys. Excessive emotionalism or irritability and excitability, especially when displayed openly. Geometry. The angle formed by the x-axis and a given line, measured counterclockwise from the positive half of the x-axis. An attitude of mind, especially one that favors one alternative over others. He had an inclination to give up too easily. Astronomy. The angle between the plane of the orbit and the plane of the ecliptic stated in degrees. The property possessed by a line or surface that departs from the vertical. He walked with a heavy inclination to the right. A characteristic likelihood of or natural disposition toward a certain condition or character or effect. The alkaline inclination of the local waters. Physics. The angle that a magnetic needle makes with the plane of the horizon. The act of inclining, bending forward. An inclination of his head indicated his agreement. That toward which you are inclined to feel a liking. Her inclination is for classical music. A general direction in which something tends to move. The shoreward tendency of the current. An attitude of mind, especially one that favors one alternative over others. A tendency to be too strict. A characteristic likelihood of or natural disposition toward a certain condition or character or effect. Fabric with a tendency to shrink. An inclination to do something. A method of tending to or managing the affairs of some group of people, especially the group's business affairs. A kitchen appliance for disposing of garbage. The act or means of getting rid of something. The power to use something or someone. Used all the resources at his disposal. A causal agent creating and controlling things in the universe. The laws of nature. A particular type of thing. He's interested in trains and things of that nature. The complex of emotional and intellectual attributes that determine a person's characteristic actions and reactions. It is his nature to help others. The essential qualities or characteristics by which something is recognized. It is the nature of fire to burn. The natural physical world, including plants and animals and landscapes, etc. They tried to preserve nature as they found it. The arrangement of the body and its limbs. He assumed an attitude of surrender. A complex mental state involving beliefs and feelings and values and dispositions to act in certain ways. He had the attitude that work was fun. A theatrical pose created for effect. The actor struck just the right attitude. Position of aircraft or spacecraft relative to a frame of reference, the horizon or direction of motion. A complex mental state involving beliefs and feelings and values and dispositions to act in certain ways. Pretend to have certain qualities or state of mind. He acted the idiot. Behave unnaturally or affectedly. She's just acting. Something that people do or cause to happen. A legal document codifying the result of deliberations of a committee or society or legislative body. Perform an action, or work out or perform an action. Think before you act. A short performance that is part of a longer program. He did his act 3 times every evening. Perform on a stage or theater. She acts in this play. Have an effect or outcome, often the one desired or expected. How does your idea work in practice? Behave in a certain manner. Show a certain behavior, conduct or comport oneself. You should act like an adult. Play a role or part. She wants to act Lady Macbeth, but she is too young for the role. A manifestation of insincerity. He put on quite an act for her benefit. A subdivision of a play or opera or ballet. Be engaged in an activity, often for no particular purpose other than pleasure. Be suitable for theatrical performance. This scene acts well. Discharge one's duties. She acts as the chair. Something that people do or cause to happen. Something that people do or cause to happen. Something that people do or cause to happen. A legal document signed and sealed and delivered to effect a transfer of property and to show the legal right to possess it. He signed the deed. A construct whereby objects or individuals can be distinguished. Self-confidence is not an endearing property. Any movable articles or objects used on the set of a play or movie. Something owned. Any tangible or intangible possession that is owned by someone. That had as my property. Any area set aside for a particular purpose. The president was concerned about the property across from the White House. A basic or essential attribute shared by all members of a class. Steadiness of mind under stress. A feeling of calm, an absence of agitation or excitement. An absence of strong winds or rain. Steadiness of mind under stress. Wind moving at less than 1 knot, 0 on the Beaufort scale. Make calm or still. Become quiet or calm, especially after a state of agitation. Cause to be calm or quiet as by administering a sedative to. Not agitated, without losing self-possession. Spoke in a calm voice. Make steady. Of weather, free from storm or wind. Calm seas. A disposition to feel that anything less than perfect is unacceptable. His perfectionism seemed excessive to his students. A disposition to allow freedom of choice and behavior. A disposition to shed blood. A general disposition to look on the dark side and to expect the worst in all things. The feeling that things will turn out badly. Preoccupation with satisfaction of physical drives and appetites. A disposition to shed blood. The state of being bloody. The trait of being unwilling. His unwillingness to cooperate vetoed every proposal I made. A dissolute man in fashionable society. The descendants of one individual. People viewed as members of a group. We need more young blood in this organization. Smear with blood, as in a hunting initiation rite, where the face of a person is smeared with the blood of the kill. Temperament or disposition. A person of hot blood. The fluid, red invertebrates, that is pumped through the body by the heart and contains plasma, blood cells, and platelets. Blood carries oxygen and nutrients to the tissues and carries away waste products. Cheerful compliance. He expressed his willingness to help. Preoccupation with satisfaction of physical drives and appetites. The doctrine that human beings are purely animal in nature and lacking a spiritual nature. A lack of permissiveness or indulgence and a tendency to confine behavior within certain specified limits. A grammatical qualification that makes the meaning more specific. Red hat has a more specific meaning than hat. A disposition toward being alone. A disposition toward being alone. The state of being alone in solitary isolation. The general atmosphere of a place or situation and the effect that it has on people. Any incorporeal supernatural being that can become visible, or audible, to human beings. Infuse with spirit. The company spirited him up. Animation and energy in action or expression. The state of a person's emotions, especially with regard to pleasure or dejection. He was in good spirits. An inclination or tendency of a certain kind. The intended meaning of a communication. A fundamental emotional and activating principle determining one's character. The vital principle or animating force within living things. An unfriendly disposition. Dislike experienced as an absence of friendliness. The disposition and habits of a gourmand.
Become our student and get access to effective and free educational materials. Subscribe to our YouTube channel to become a part of our growing YouTube community and to learn English effectively.